Ever wonder how to close nearly a deal a day in real estate investing? Click the challenge button throughout this video and subscribe to my free 30-day video series, How I Close Thousands of Deals.
I am Michael David McGuire here at the studio in New York. Our show is Profiles, where I get a chance to talk in person with interesting people from around the world who are doing very interesting things. Our guest friends on today's show is one of the largest and most successful real estate investors in the southeastern United States. His approach is considered by many to be both revolutionary and disruptive, and he's changing the financial lives of both real estate agents and professional real estate investors nationwide. Peter Vekselman, welcome to Profiles.
Thanks for having me.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming into New York on such short notice. You know, I saw you in action in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and I must say I was very impressed with your presentation.
Well, I appreciate it. We believe in what we do. We don't just work with other people and show them what we do. We actually do what we do.
Well, and that's a good thing. And of course, I'm not here just to give compliments. So many of the things that I heard you share with the people when I saw you in action, in retrospect, were like so dang obvious, yet these are the kind of things that most people don't really get on their own, and they're very much key approaches to how anybody really, if they have a passion for real estate investing, can significantly boost their success. I noticed three major aha moments among the people that we were with, where you could see by their body language, you could see by their eyes, you could see by their movement that it was like it really made sense. One of them is what you call your consultative approach to real estate. Explain to us what that is.
Well, number one, it's extremely common sense. I mean, I've been thinking about this way of doing business for many, many years. And then I myself, like you saw other people seeing when they were watching me, I myself had an aha moment. You know, the bottom line is we are now offering value to consumers,
right,
to sellers of real estate. You know, whereas before, a traditional seller really only has two options in the United States. One option is to call a local real estate agent. And you know what? Every agent tells them the same thing. I'm the greatest. I'm the best. Call me. My broker's this. My company's that.
Right.
You know, the other option for a consumer or a seller is to go with their local real estate investor, at which case it's kind of like, hey, give me your property for nothing, and then we'll be friends forever. So what we decided to do...
Which isn't always necessarily good for the person selling the home,
Not
is it?
always good, and
Right.
Not always something you want to be friends with, somebody that does that. But the idea we came up with, this big aha, is let's combine the two. Let's put together a real estate model where we're actually not telling the seller what they should do. We're actually giving the seller options. And the options are, yes, if the situation is warranted, we can come in and we can actually buy that property from you, Mr. Seller. But if we can't buy that property, then we can help you sell it.
And that was your personal aha moment.
Oh, it's huge. There's no one in the country does it in an organized way the way we do it.
When did you personally have that aha moment?
About a year and a half ago. Because back then, you know, obviously not only back then, I was always an investor. I still am an investor. I've always knew there's an opportunity to work with realtors. And for years, I struggled. How do you package the investor world with the realtor world? And we put them on the front end. We put them on the back end. We gave them leads we couldn't make work. And then all of a sudden it hit me. Let's combine the two. Let's let the seller decide. What do they want? Do they want a quick cash sale, or do they want to go a little bit lengthier way, but the traditional sales way? So now this consultative approach is exploding. It's exploding for us both in Atlanta and literally in every market we're going into.
You know, and what was interesting for me in the presentation that I saw, and for me as a visitor, it was fun to sit back and watch the people that were there in that group. And that aha moment of combining the two approaches, the standard, I guess you would say, real estate agent approach where you're going to help them sell their house, or being able to funnel their home to honest investors who can give them, like right now, today or this week, a fair and honest price for their property. I mean, that's groundbreaking.
It is. You're right. When you talk about it, it seems like, well, that's common sense. That should be done by everybody, But no one's doing it.
The other aha moment that I have to tell you that I saw, that I witnessed with my own eyes, was this idea of forming a relationship with, you say the consumer, I would say with your customers, which is the person that owns the property that either wants to sell the house or form a relationship with an investor. And that was another one of those moments where, yes, it's obvious, of course you form a relationship with people, but so many brokers or people investing in homes or real estate agents don't even give a thought to that.
Well, it's huge. It changed my whole business. For I've been investing for 15 years, 13 of those ways. I'm doing the old-fashioned way,
right,
where we just simply blew up our phones on a daily basis. We had up to 1,000 sellers a day call us,
right,
looking to sell their properties to us.
And I guess that the people listening or people in real estate would know what you mean by blow up the phones.
Yeah, 1,000 sellers a day calling us. That's unheard of. And again, what we were doing back then is exactly what you said. We were negotiating deals over the phone. And look, I knew it was an inefficient way of doing things. I knew we were just simply playing the numbers game. I just couldn't figure out how I can get 1,000 people a day going to people's homes. And so that was my next big aha moment. I realized, what if I, instead of trying to get my own people going inside their homes, which I could never figure out a way to do, it'd be just a
logistically impossible,
logistical nightmare.
Right.
That's when this whole thing said, why don't I combine this model with the realtors? And now when sellers are calling us, we're just setting up our realtors to go inside these people's homes. And as you and I both know, there's no shortage of realtors out there. And what realtor wouldn't love to go see a seller where they have the ability either to make a quick sale with a cash offer model or convert it into a regular listing?
Well, when I heard you speak in Atlanta, I know one of the things that you shared with the people there is within your business, you have a business model where I think you call it partnering. You partner with Peter Vekselman, and you may even come in and put some money into the deal to help move it along, or you show other brokers or other investors how to create this type of system, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what we do.
And then also, I guess you coach or help mentor. I love the term mentor. You help mentor real estate agents.
Yeah. And what we do in our partnership model is we literally, we initiate all the marketing into, let's say if we're partnering with a broker or a team leader on a real estate type or an investor type. What we do is or an investor. What we do is we actually initiate all the marketing into their market right from our offices in Atlanta.
Wait a minute. So your company in Atlanta will then do all of the back end marketing for your partners.
We do all the marketing, which in this business is huge. That's 80 to 90% of all the deals.
And the marketing costs money. It doesn't make you any money. You make money if you do a deal, but you're working that all day, like endlessly. And that's keeping the real estate agent or the investor from being in the field making relationships.
Well, that's the key. Look, the bottom line is so many people get in real estate to be real estate, and then they realize they got to be marketing geniuses. So we actually do the marketing for them. We then, in turn, we actually take all the calls that are coming in from sellers right in our Atlanta office in our partnership model. We qualify these sellers. We ask them a series of questions, and then we actually set appointments for our local partners to go out into the field, and then we educate them and, like you said, mentor them on how to present this cash offer / retail offer model to the consumer.
So hypothetically, if I was a real estate investor, which anybody that knows me knows I'm not, but if I was, I could do a partnering relationship with you and your people in effect would become the marketing arm of my investment company, you and your people in Atlanta.
Absolutely. Whether you're a retail broker, whether you're an investor, we handle all the marketing.
Right.
Like I said, we take the inbound calls, we qualify them, we set appointments, we mentor you on how to run this model in the field. We let you and let your agents, or you as an investor, we let you do what you're good at. Get in people's homes, build relationships, put deals together.
Well, I know for a fact that you, and I don't want to sound too braggy here, but you and some of the people you're working with, who I've met, are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in deals. And, frankly, there's a lot of people in the country that really aren't quite ready to play at that level. Is that where your mentoring program comes in? You'll teach them how to do this system themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. The full-fledged program is what you and I have been talking about, where we do most of the implementation for them. But at the same time, we also work with beginners who are just looking to get into this model. They listen to it. They're like, this makes all the sense in the world. How do I get going if I don't have the money that it takes to do the the partnership, well, you're right. We could literally mentor them and walk them through how to implement this model at their own basic level.
But in the mix here, and I know you deal with investors. You are an investor yourself. You will invest your own money in other people's deals. If they're one of your partners, you will help them out, which I think is really cool. And you make money and they make money, which is good for everybody. But the poor real estate agent, I don't mean to say poor real estate agent, but we kind of left them out. Is there value in this system for the local real estate agent?
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, they're picking up the listings.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what being a realtor is all about. We are providing for them the fuel that they need in their business.
So let me wrap my head around this. For somebody that is in a small or middle-sized town somewhere in North America, but by working with a broker or an investment team that has this model in place, they're not having to go out so much and hustle their own leads. They're being provided with leads.
They're 100%. They're not just leads, appointments. We are literally setting up appointments for them. It don't get better than that. And they're with sellers, which in real estate business, it doesn't get any better than a seller appointment.
Yeah. Peter, listen, we need to jump in and take a break here. But when we come back, friends, our listener friends, I want to ask our guest, Peter Vekselman, about scams in real estate, and we've all heard them on late night TV, friends, and how do people spot the good guys from the scammers? And for our friends at home, I'll ask you, how do you spot scammers in your life? Have you ever seen a scammer? I'm Michael David McGuire, and we'll do that and more after these quick commercial messages. I'm Michael David McGuire here at the studio in New York, where it's a really beautiful day today, and I'm glad you're along with us. Our guest this hour is real estate investor Peter Vekselman and real estate coach. Welcome back.
Thanks. Enjoying it.
Before the break, we were talking about your consultative approach to real estate, which I think when people understand this, will clearly see it's disruptive. We're talking about your approach to helping brokers, investors, and real estate agents increase their business and make more money. And we talked about how you came to some of these conclusions, which I think is really interesting. The thing that I personally am interested in asking you about, we've, not to get negative, but we've all seen the late night TV commercials of, get rich in real estate, no money, no skill, no effort, sit on your butt all day and make millions of dollars. And that's just not possible, is it?
Well, look, here's the reality. Don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. And that's what so many people do in this business. Let's face it, there's bad accountants, there's bad car mechanics, there's, we've all gotten bad haircuts. Does that mean everybody now is running around with long hair doesn't get haircuts again? Sure, there are some bad apples in this business, and, just check the people out. See what they're doing, see if they're active in a business, see if they're closing deals. If you feel comfortable with them, I'd say go with them.
Hey, so the bottom line there is if they're not doing deals, they're not making any money, they're traveling around the country sucking your money, be suspicious. But if they're really doing deals, hey, ask them questions and get the answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we talked in the last segment about your partners or people being able to partner with you where you will basically possibly invest with them, help them financially, and operate a back-end office or marketing aspects of a back-end office for them. How do you find or identify good partners?
Well, people a lot of times say, well, are you chasing markets or are you chasing people and partners? No, I'm chasing partners. I'll go into any market when I find the right person. And the right person is, for this partnership program, I'd love to have somebody that's already established, somebody that's already got a semblance of a team around them, somebody who is, if they're an investor, are already doing deals. And then we just go through a process. Most of the time they hear me somewhere just like this, on a show like this, or they hear me speak about what we're doing. They'll call, they'll inquire with me directly. We'll have a couple conversations, and then for everyone's comfort level, we bring them into Atlanta, we sit around, we chat for about, almost half a day or sometimes a whole day.
Right.
They meet my team, and at that point we know we're a good fit, let's move forward, or hey, let's shake hands and be friends forever.
And send them home.
And send them home.
But now, okay, once you've identified a good partner, you've identified them, they've identified the power of what you're doing, how do those partners then find good people in pick a town, Missoula, Montana, or wherever. How do they find good people there?
That's the mentoring from our end. We built our own internal team of agents that are going out there and doing this model. And so we work with them hand in hand. We show them how to find the people. We show them the ads to run. We show them how to develop teams around them. We show them how to interview them, how to train them, how to support them, how to do sales meeting with them. I mean, we literally become their partners. Thus, we call it partnering with Peter.
And you love what you do, don't you?
Oh, we absolutely live and breathe it, 100%.
Well, no, but that's for me in working with you and seeing you in action. I mean, you do sort of come on as a bit of a tough cookie around the edges, but to watch you do your presentation in front of a group of people, it was just like you come alive, and it's obvious you really, really enjoy what you do.
Well, look, I am passionate about what we're doing. I mean, I feel 100% this will be in the next couple of years the way the business is going to be run. I mean, we have to start adding value to consumers. We have to give people options they find nowhere else. I feel like this is going to be how the real estate world will be functioning in the next couple of years.
You know, you say something really interesting there, Peter. And by the way, friends, our guest, Peter Vekselman, the real estate expert. And I shared with you off air, but I'll share it again here on air. I've worked around the real estate business more than the average Joe. Not as much as you. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm not making money in real estate, but I've been around it a lot. And the biggest complaint that I hear about the two models of real estate, which is either an agent going to sell your house or about an investor buying the house, is that the agent is hit and sign, show up at the house, do a quick tap dance, get a contract, and then leave, and you never hear from the guy again, or no sense of personal service. Or some of these lowball, cheesy, no offense to anybody, but lowball, cheesy investors, I'm sorry I said that, but lowball, cheesy investors, where they come in and take advantage of somebody's bad situation. And the thing that I heard you say, and your people reiterate, some of your people around you, was, yeah, sure, this is a business. Yes, sure, we're going to make money, but you got to have a little bit of heart and soul and take into account someone's life situation. And if you honestly feel that you say consumer, I say customer, that person with the home, it's better for them to wait a bit and sell their house. You'll guide them or teach your people to guide them to do that. But if their life situation is such, illness or sad things happen, and they need to sell that house in the next week or so, you'll teach your people how to do that too.
Yeah, and that's why we call it the consultative approach. We're arming the sellers, the consumer, with the ability to make a decision. Everyone else is going to guide them and tell them what needs to be done. We present the facts, and then we figure out what the right solution for that seller is.
You know, I won't say the name. That's not my business to do at this minute, but I did meet one of your partner clients in Arizona. And one of the things that I learned from him, which I thought was in Scottsdale, Arizona, which I thought was really very touching, is he said that he and his wife would go into a home and they spend time getting to know that family, because if they know the family, they can better help them. And he also said something which was quite significant for me, which is it's easy to fire a real estate agent, but it's hard to fire a relationship.
Yeah, dead on. And again, this is why we developed this model. It's putting sellers and the agent in the same room over a cup of coffee, over their kitchen table, laying it all out and building a relationship. Because, the bottom line is real estate, it is a relationship building business.
And you are I've heard other people in real estate say it's about relationships, but you really believe it. And that's where your whole consultative approach is so disruptive. It is really the very, very foundation of what you're doing. Quickly, Peter, before we run out of time on this segment, can anybody implement the Peter Vekselman system, whether it's mentoring or the partnering approach? Can anybody do this anywhere in the country?
Yeah, absolutely. And we work with people in different areas of the country. We work with people with different financial situations, and we work with people with different objectives. So absolutely, we have different levels and different ways we partner with people. So 100% yes.
Is there any place in the country this system of yours will not work?
No. Unless somebody's sitting in their butt and doing nothing.
Well, Peter Vekselman, that is delightful. Now, if somebody is interested in partnering with you and your team or mentoring with you personally, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, what I would recommend is just send me a text. Put the word partner in there. If you're interested in partnering, put the word mentor if you're interested in mentoring with me.
And what's that number?
My direct cell phone is 404-915-9685.
Is that really your own number?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. All right. So, hang on. Let me get the pencil going. I got to grab here. All right. Good. Go. Tell me that again.
It's 404-915-9685.
Well, Peter Vekselman, delightful, a handshake across the radio table. Thanks for being on the show today.
Totally enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.